It might not make you feel better about it, but actually our ancestors probably did suffer with allergies. Let's look at what the records show. We have documented evidence that some medieval folk were sneezing their way through spring and clutching their throats after eating a bit of cheese. Although the term allergy wasn't coined until 1906, scientists were discussing it in the 1800s when medical practitioners noticed that instead of helping them, their patients' immune systems were overreacting to foods and natural elements in the environment. At its core, an allergy is when your immune system misidentifies a harmless substance as a threat and mounts a full-on defense. And this can happen with anything from pollen and dust to shellfish and cheese. We have evidence of this happening in ancient times. Historical texts from ancient China, Rome, and Egypt have recorded examples of people experiencing adverse reactions to certain foods. Some historians also believe that King Menes of the first Egyptian dynasty might have died from anaphylaxis, possibly due to a wasp sting. There's even a poem written by the Roman philosopher Titus Lucretius Cato, which says, "What is food to one, to another is rank poison." Hippocrates, a Greek physician, is credited with early observations suggesting that food could trigger allergic reactions in some individuals and that they could even be fatal. Also in the 10th century, the physician Reyes, also known as Al-Razi, clearly identified hay fever. Although it wasn't called that at the time, he identified the symptoms like sneezing and itching and a runny nose. He attributed them to environmental causes. In fact, he even recognized the connection between smelling roses and then the onset of allergic symptoms in some of his patients. In the 12th century, the renowned physician Maimonides tried to treat asthma with some unusual practices. He attributed the breathing problems to environmental factors such as pollen and weather conditions. In medieval Europe, Hildegard of Bingen, a German medical practitioner, recorded that certain foods were causing adverse reactions in some of her patients, including skin irritations and digestive problems. So these conditions did exist many, many years ago, as far back as records go. But throughout those years, the scientific understanding of allergic reactions was lacking, and reactions to substances were often blamed on imbalances in the body's humours or even on divine will, rather than to an overactive immune response. At least today we have a better grasp of what's going on, plus EpiPens and antihistamines to help keep things in check, and we understand that allergies are to do with biology rather than heavenly wrath.